everyone, First Warn 5 Meteorologist Melissa Meeder here on our First Warn weather day. We are monitoring the potential for heavy rainfall and kind of impactful rainfall as we have the Deputy Ming funeral procession today, as well as the first day of school for many areas, specifically the Shawnee School District, Shawnee Mission. So we're going to kind of break down what we're seeing on radar this morning, how we expect the rest of the day to pan out. I will tell you, though, that there has been some uncertainty with this forecast for today, and that is due to it not being as widespread as we expected earlier this morning, not dumping as much rainfall as we expected it to, which are both good things. We don't want it to rain in excess of 1 to 3 inches, but we are starting to see more rain building into the area. It's just a few hours late at this point. We were expecting this around 6 a.m. It's about 2 hours late. As you can see, here's a look at our radar. Radar showing generally on the western half of our area, state line starting to move to see rain and thunderstorm activity crossing state line into Missouri. So what you need to know right now is if you are heading out to the bus stop at any time soon, you are heading to work, you will need that rain gear, because taking a look at rain activity right now, at least on the western half of the area, some pockets of that more moderate rain from Garnett to Ottawa over to Lacine. Not seeing a whole lot of lightning strikes with this, though. I am going to pull this up full screen so we can kind of take a closer look at it. Not seeing much lightning. Maybe a few strikes down towards the south of Lacine, but mainly out of our area. Here's a kind of closer look as we zoom inside that 435 loop right now. At this time, it's creeping up at this point to the I-70 corridor. So Overland Park seeing rain at this point, Grandview seeing rain. We're seeing pockets of those heavier rainfall between about Bonner Springs and into portions of Gardner and Olathe and Spring Hill in Johnson County. So we are going to see this continue to propagate towards the northeast here over the next couple of hours. And so we are going to continue to see the chance for rain and pockets of that heavy rainfall and some lightning with that as well. So overall, this is a few hours late. Our models were a little bit too quick. But if we see how this is going to pan out, models haven't been doing a great job. We'll take a look at that in a second. But I want to point out that between about now and about 11 o'clock, that's looking like our kind of wettest time frame here. So if you're still going to the commuting at this time, or you are, your kids are going to the bus stop, which would be around 8 o'clock, I think, around probably at the latest, so about now, they will need the rain gear. Once you head home, though, you will continue to need the rain gear. 40% chance for some scattered rain and storms. That starts to dwindle down to a 20% chance as we head into this evening and then into the overnight. So I want to kind of show you what our models are putting out. We do get a new model run. I'm going to see if it's loaded. We checked about 30 minutes ago. I want to see if we have got any latest data run in here, which we should have at this point, at least some of it. So bear with me while I change to see if we can get the latest runs in here. See if it'll still populate. Yep. Okay. What time is it? 8 o'clock. All right. Let me hit the save button. And then let me take this off. Bear with me for just a second. Okay. So I think this is doing a better job. Here we are at 8 this morning. I think this is doing a better job than the previous 6Z run. As we move through the next couple of hours, it continues to be widespread. This model is showing through about noon. And then after noon, we're expecting to see some spotty rain and storms developing, generally along and north of I-70 between about noon and I would say until we start to see the sun set. Then through the overnight, some spotty to scattered rain and storms still remain a possibility, and it looks like that's when our data starts to drop out. So that run isn't totally in. But I will tell you, the chance for rain and storms spotty to scattered will continue into the overnight and then into tomorrow morning. So we've got a lot going on today. Keep in mind that we are expected to be mostly cloudy through the day as well, so we're not expecting it to be as warm. Here's a look at the latest flood watch. This is for our southwestern areas. we are generally seeing the heaviest rain off towards the south and the southwest. This goes until 10 a.m. The Metro was included in this at one point. They dropped that, I would say, approximately around 4 o'clock this morning. So we've been seeing the downward trend of that flooding potential, but we still now see some pockets of heavy rain that could be impactful for the rest of your morning commute, the kids going to and from school, and the funeral procession that we will have today. So that's why we are still watching this very closely, as a lot of things are happening today. When we think about additional rainfall totals at this point, models aren't spitting out much. There may be some isolated areas of 1 to 2 inches if you get caught under a slow moving thunderstorm, particularly as we probably go into this afternoon and into this evening, because we're generally seeing that widespread light to moderate rainfall right now occurring. So looks like anywhere between about 1/2 of an inch or less will be a possibility for those that don't get caught under kind of pockets of that heavier rain. But this is something that could and most likely will continue to adjust as we go throughout the rest of this morning and through the rest of the day today. If we take a look at the 24-hour rain totals, kind of will give us a better picture. In Olathe, over an inch of rain has fallen, only about less than 1/10 of an inch here in Kansas City. So we haven't seen, there have been some pockets of about 2.5 inches that we have seen reported. However, we're not seeing kind of that large scale, widespread, heavy rain, larger rain totals that we saw on the last 3 flooding events that we had, which is good news. So we were expecting to see some of those pockets of even higher than 3 inches. We haven't seen reports of that at this point, which is good as well. So this event has been underperforming. Now, I think we are going to see these rainfall totals tick up, obviously, as we continue to see that kind of larger, widespread, light to moderate rainfall move into the area. However, we still are going to keep a close eye on that flooding potential, but overall, it has greatly decreased for the day today. Speaking of today, we will only make it into the 80s this afternoon. The temperatures are going to be held at bay due to the cloud cover, the mostly cloudy skies we'll see today, as well as the rain chance. So mid 70s by 11, we're in the upper 70s at 2, it's around 80 at 5. Temperatures then fall back into the 70s for the rest of the day. I think most of the day today will be spent generally in that 70-degree temperature range. We will reach 81 as our high temperature today. More likely seeing that rain widespread across the area through the rest of this morning into the early afternoon around noon before it becomes spotty to scattered for this afternoon. 81, that's going to be our high temperature. We're 84 on Tuesday, so we'll start to dry out. There's a few small chances for some rain, as I'd mentioned, on Tuesday. It's going to be a continuation from what occurs overnight and into tomorrow morning, but 84 as our high temperature. We're still below normal. We get into the mid 80s on Wednesday, which is still below normal, pretty pleasant. The humidity levels will start to tick up, but we will generally see humidity levels really generally, for the most part, kind of uptick on the second half of the week, ever so slightly. It is pretty muggy out there right now, of course, but we are going to see temperatures heat up as we go towards the second half of the week. So really today is the more active day of the next 7. Most likely chance to see rain is today. Lower temperatures are today. More cloud cover is today. But really Tuesday and Wednesday, small chance for some rain. Tuesday, we hold that 20% throughout the day. Wednesday, it's mainly in the afternoon and into the evening. 84, 86. We'll go back to near normal once we get to Thursday with mostly sunny conditions, and mostly sunny skies hang on for Friday and Saturday too, and we are back into the 90s. Do note, of course, that humidity level is going to continue to uptick slightly. That is going to make those temperatures feel a whole lot hotter, likely going to be at least in the mid 90s for your Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday. Sunday brings the next small chance for some rain. So keep in mind, you'll need the rain gear all day today. The most widespread rain is likely going to be this morning. We're going to continue to update you with any new information that we gain about today, as we are going to continue to monitor that widespread chance for rain through the morning, and then the spotty to scattered rain and storm chance we'll see for the rest of the day after this kind of wave moves through the area. That's all I've got for you this morning. We'll continue to check in with you throughout the day for updates. I hope you guys have a great day and stay dry.